Hey guys, how you doing? How you doing? Uncle Craig here on the button dock, where I am proceeding to do some more welding. And no, this is not a welding helmet, but it came in real handy because, and no, I didn't coordinate it with my shirt. I just happened to have a shirt, and I grabbed the first helmet I saw in the on the rack. Anyway. I think in the previous video I showed the welding job I did in this restroom, and the challenges I faced trying to put the ceiling up. What a nightmare. And so I broke that cement board, and I built that lift without, I actually, later I went online and looked at do-it-yourself, it's mostly called a drywall lift because mostly everybody's doing drywall with it. I certainly didn't want to go buy one, didn't need to. I only do it once, so. But some guys made some do-it-yourself ones. They looked doable, but almost all of those were from doing it yourself for flat ceilings, not for a vaulted or otherwise, the A-frame ceiling like I have in the bathroom here and in the kitchen. And it just wasn't working, no matter what. I mean, it would have if I had more than one person. And I think I mentioned that I was gonna have to try and bring in some reinforcements or something. But now I'm thinking maybe I don't have to. I don't know, we'll see. Because last night or the other night or whatever, when I got finished, after being frustrated all day, even at night I was going, that's when I started looking at those do-it-yourself lift videos. And then I wake up in the middle of the night thinking I had an idea, and I go on my iPad and look for a video, and so basically couldn't sleep over it. And then but I woke up thinking I gotta figure this out, and then my wife said, why don't you just use fake wood, the Duraboard stuff. And I thought, oh shoot, you know what, because I remembered over at the hardware store at Global, they sold like long planks of that plain Durawood kind of cement board. I mean, I guess it's all cement board, sort of. And so I said, whoa. So what I did was, and I have some of the, I had four or five packs of the Duraboard that I was going to use for the outside of I was going to use them instead of the outside of the house. I was going to use it on the deck, which, it's got a red stain on it, and it, after thinking about it for the deck, in terms of durability, it's probably all right, but it's, as soon as you scratch it, the red paint comes off. So if it was on the ground, it would immediately start getting all scratched off, basically. So I thought, you know what? I think I'm going to have to use that Duraboard stuff for something else. Maybe the side of the shop house back here or something, the actual shop. But then I thought, you know what? I'm going to cut a piece and see how it looks, put it up in the ceiling of the restroom, see if I can actually do that, because it's still an 8-foot piece. And the Duraboard is still, it's still a fiber kind of issue to where if you're holding it, if I hold an 8-foot piece in the middle, it'll snap in half just like a cement board did. But it's still definitely twice as thick, so better. Anyway, so this is what I did with it. Take a look. Ta-da! I made the ceiling out of the Duraboard. I'm gonna fix the gaps in here with some of the cement. Shows you, and this side wasn't straight. Remember, the rooms are still kind of not perfectly square, but the roof, you know, there's this gap is more noticeable, and I think it's just the way the piece was cut. It was butt up against there. I made sure everything was butt up against there, but some of the seams are just better than others. The camera here, I think, highlights it more than it actually is. But and I did this after the fact, and you know, after I was looking at it, I thought to myself, you know what? Maybe I should have put another steel bar in between each one of these so that I could even further close the gap, which I probably could have done, should have done, but I didn't. What I'm going to do anyway is, and it might cure the gap thing, is I am going to put some, basically cement board, so I can put some grout in there, and then this whole thing is going to get a waterproof primer, which is a little thicker, and then I'm going to also paint it with a waterproof paint, so that's going to be even more thicker. So pretty much I think these inconsistencies, or the, you know, the parts that aren't level or the gap, I think those are all going to disappear once I, you know, surface this with the paint and stuff like that. I originally had thought of the thing coming down at an angle right here, but the way it was welded and stuff, and it just came out to be better over here. So I'm gonna put more. I'm gonna chip this out a little bit, and I'm gonna put more cement in here. I'm gonna put something here before I do that, so the cement doesn't, you know, gets mushed up against here or whatever. But I'll go ahead and fill that gap, and then of course, in these gaps, which there's not much of one, but it's a little bit. There's some parts where it's a little bigger because of the way that the you know, the wall is not perfectly straight with the skim coat that's on there. But I do know that it'll be all right. I'm gonna get nice, you know, molding that'll go into the gaps between, basically all the way around. And I think, like I said, when it's finished, it'll look pretty cool. And today I also cut the steel for this side, which this will be a little bit easier to work with, even though it's the same size. It has a bigger doorway, so I found that moving my pieces around and getting stuff in and out of there, the doorway was pretty tricky. I had to go out that doorway, come back in and stuff. But here, you know, it's a double door, it's open more. I should be able to get her done, be easy. I put these two beams in place, haven't welded them yet. But in contrast to this room, where I have, what's that? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 cross beams. Here I cut, what did I cut? 7. So I should be able to shorten the distance between the bars, adding more structural stability, so I won't get any of this, maybe any of this lower separation, like right here. You know, these things aren't perfect, and if they get heavy moisture, I think they're going to have to, I think they might sag over time. I don't know. I'll have to deal with that when it comes to it. This end piece was smaller, so I had to cut it smaller. That was a real nightmare. I wound up, because I couldn't have a real long skinny piece without it breaking, so I took small pieces and fit them in there. Cut them, fit it in there until it fit, and I had 5 pieces. And then I just laid the 5 pieces on top of a new piece as a template, you know, and drew it out, whatever, and then cut the long piece and, you know, very precariously put it up into place, but it worked out. It actually fit, so that's okay. You know, like I say, a little bit inside the corners, this and that, I can fix it up. But with the kitchen over here, I'm gonna do more welding. Hopefully I'm better at it now, and we'll have more of a cross area. What was I thinking? I thought maybe that would put some insulation between the two, but nah, I didn't do that. And that working up here, though, I tell you, and that's what I was saying about my helmet. Working up here in such close quarters. Yesterday, when I did that, you know, I'm going up and down and up and down. I swear I must have hit my head. How many times? I don't know. One time I hit it in the door jamb so hard, I thought I needed a chiropractor. But check this out. My helmet, yeah, that's what it's good for. After I took it off, I saw these dings, bam, 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 bam. All these dings on my helmet were protecting me from smacking my head, because I was definitely smacking my head. I mean, I probably would have smacked it a little bit less because the helmet adds to height and you're aware of that, but I still would have smacked my head, and only you smack it once is too much. But dang, so I'm always wearing my helmet. Although now I'm gonna weld, so I'll put my welding helmet on there, which serves the same purpose. But what I'm gonna do is go to Global later today to check out the those Duraboard planks I was talking about, because in here, if the plan is sticking to my plan of making the ceiling close this way instead of a flat ceiling, then I should be able to do it by myself if I can do that. I think this is, that might be 9 foot if I remember. So, but I think I can do that by myself. But I'm gonna have to buy more steel, because I'm definitely, if I'm gonna do the planks, I'm definitely gonna have to put more crossbars so that there's no gap. And although those planks have that red coating on there or whatever, which again I'm going to paint over. It can be painted over. I'll seal up the holes in the screws first. But the ones that I'll get for this, I believe, will just be plain with no color, which would be obviously better, because then I might even be able to, skim coat over the top of it. But I haven't really skim coated on the ceiling. It can be done, but I would hate for it to dry up later, too dry or something like that, and have any kind of movement from the wind or something, then peel off of there. So what I would do is just basically have the board in there, make sure it's all sealed up and everything. Put some some plaster in there or whatever, and then and give it a good coat of paint, seal it all up, and it should look all right. But this is what I was talking about in here, where I technically could make a drywall lift and be able to help me put that stuff in place. But if the planks, if they're only going to be planks, then maybe I don't need a lift. My scaffolding comes up just above the door, so if my scaffolding is here, I think I can reach all the way to the ceiling to weld the bars, and also to put the cement board in place. So yeah, what do you think? Well, wish me luck on that. Another thing I did today was I sent a message on Facebook to the awning guy, and he came out, and over here on the house, on this side, not the whole part, but in front of the two bedrooms, or in front of the big bedroom there, 2 windows, I have a guy ordered a brown awning that retractable that'll come out, keep the main part of the heat off of the house in the super hot weather. I mean, I could just run the air con, but you know, why not give it a little bit of added coolness? And one off the back side of the guest room too. So there's basically 3 awnings that can be independent of each other. And the 3 awnings, it's just take him a few days to get it all ready. I think he said he might be able to come down on Christmas and do an install, one of them or something. Push comes to shove, maybe after New Year, I'm not worried about it. But I got it going. And it cost $13,900 after that discount. We discounted it 500 baht. So basically it's like 48 or something each, or something like that, or 13,500 or something. So, which I think is a pretty good deal, because there was like 4 different thicknesses of the canvas, and of course I got the thickest one with the longest durability, something like 15 years or something like that. And for the first couple of years, they do everything for you, all the maintenance and all that stuff. Or if the wind comes and rips it down, they fix it up for free, even give you a new material for free if Mother Nature destroys it. So that was pretty good. Anyway, that's about it. So we'll get that welding done and see if I can't get that picture in here for you of my next weld job over here. Hopefully there's not so many holes in the metal when I get done. All right, man. Thanks for watching. Keep watching. We'll get back at you. Okay, now that I'm finished, take a quick look. I went ahead and made my, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. I did the frames on the side. This is much more than the other bathroom. And it works out pretty good. But one of the things I also found out, because it's such precarious upside down welding, that molten rain, man. I was doing something, I was like, what's that smell? Something's burning. I looked down and I saw a hole right here burn through my crotch. But fortunately, I think it was a tiny one that got bigger, but that's not what was burning. I looked over, and remember I had a full face sock goes over my head, and I have my helmet on, but the tail end and stuff still sticks out and stuff. Well, anyway, yeah, that thing, it caught fire and it was burning. Yeah, you gotta watch it, man. It started actually down at the bottom, and I just saw the flames, and so I tossed it out here, and then it started, just continued to burn. I wound up having to grab it and stick it in a bucket and get the water on it. But you gotta watch it, man. That one on my pants, I thought it burned through into my crotch, and it was in there, maybe a hot ember, but it wasn't. Although when I looked down at my crotch, the fire ring was still burning, which that's what made me think, oh, it was probably a little one. And then it, as it burned through and burned out, the clothes were still on fire, so it was burn. Dude. And my arm, look at my arm. This, if we can see this, all those little holes they kept burning and spraying, falling on me, because the angle in which I was having to do everything, not much room to get away. I wound up having to take my towel, my sweat towel, whatever, and stuff it down into my arm here, all the way in there to protect that. So I'm gonna have to get me some welding sleeves. I mean, I like I like doing the welding. Actually, I can already see it. I can do some other stuff, but doing it from like a bench or on the ground, or when I'm looking down and welding, I'm better at it that way anyway. Because like when I welded those bars, practice bars, you know, come out real good. But it's much more difficult to lay a bead when you're upside down. You can do the spot maybe, but trying to lay a bead in a crack when it's upside down, I don't think that works good. You got to be, you know, if I'm welding every day, whatever, for a year, I can probably do that. But you know, for my purpose in here, no, that didn't work, man. Nope. But I did get her done, so that's the important part. And I didn't have any major burn on my face or hands, although my gloves, I don't know if you saw earlier in that video, actually, matter of fact, that right there, if you can see that. Let me show that, let me see. Yeah, those are actually burns from the other day when it burned right through the glove, the rubber gloves I had on when I was first doing it. And I was like, that's when I had to go buy some welding gloves. You gotta prepare, man. Too anxious to get in there and do it. I don't have the right stuff. And then you learn how you have to have the right stuff. Trial by fire. All right, man. Again, thanks for watching. Keep watching. We'll get back at you with more progress from the Mod.